I just want to know from you all, am I audible to all of you? Respected participants, please let me know if I am audible to all of you. Then just please give an answer yes, and I will understand yes, I am audible. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Now I'm sharing the PPT. Please let me know whether the PPT is visible or not. And that will be our first. Is the PPT visible now to all of you? Is the PPT visible to all of you? Respected teachers, those who are present today, please let me know. Is the PPT visible to all of you? Just give me an answer, reply yes or no. Hello? Am I audible? Am I visible also? Is the PPT visible? Is the PPT visible? Please let me know. I am sharing the PPT. Please let me know if it is visible. Respected teachers, respected participants, if you are there, please let me know if my PPT is visible to all of you or not. Do I have the sharing rights with me? Sir, I want to know, do I have the sharing rights? PPT is not visible. Is it visible? It is. I think now it is visible. Okay, okay. I think now it is visible. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. Now it is visible. I think now I'm audible as well as the PPT is visible to all of you. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience caused. We will be just in a moment, we will be discussing everything. Okay, just one more minute, just 1 minute. There's a slight technical snag and we will finish it off within a minute. Yes. Now everything is visible. Right. Okay. Very good evening. Good evening to all the respected teachers, vice principals, principals who are present today in this particular platform. I think this is my first session with you in this new academic session 24-25. Good evening to Subhasri Madam, our mentor, our guide, who is always there encouraging us to conduct training programs. And of course, to all of you present over there. Today, we will have a very interesting topic. We will discuss a very interesting topic. And before we go into the topic, I will once again give my special tribute to Alvin Toffler, the person who wrote the book called Future Shock. And I think all of you know about him. Okay, and he said that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And respected teachers, I'll tell you, this particular quotation has tremendous relevance to our training programs that we are doing on a daily basis, continuous basis. Okay, because for us teachers, learning is a never-ending process. We learn something, maybe we have to keep a few of those at bay, and you have to move with something else. Or maybe the same thing that we learn, maybe we have to relearn in a different way. In English, there's a saying that change with the change, or else the change will change you. So we have to always move with the change. There are a group of people who are resistant to change. I feel sorry for them because they just remain stagnant in one particular place. And we are not supposed to be like this. Okay, so, respected teachers, teachers who love teaching, teach children to love learning. Yes, this is the very sense of our work. Those teachers who love teaching teach children to love learning also. Yes, that is what we are all for. So our work should be with love, our work should be with passion, our work should be with compassion. Then only we will be able to deliver the best to our students. And today our topic discussion is achievement test and drafting test items. In a very simple way, how to conduct tests and examinations in the school, and how to make question papers. How to make question papers. You know, respected teachers, to be very honest with you, this is the most difficult part of our work, I will say. We all teach, we all use our artistic qualities, we all do this, that, whatnot. But when it comes for making question papers or conducting tests, then butterflies really fly inside our gut. And that is why it is very important that we should know the processes, the systemic process. Everything is based on a very scientific process, and how to do them in the most easiest way, so that we are able to come out with flying colors for our own selves also, as well as for our students also. That is why it is said that achievement test and drafting test, it is ascertaining the quality and quantity of learning. When you talk about learning, obviously there are two parts of it, the quality and the quantity. Now, what is this quality and quantity all about? What's the big deal about it? Why I have given this as the punchline? Actually, respected teachers, I'll tell you, say you have made a question paper of 100 marks, or say you have made a question paper of, say, 35 questions, and your students have answered, maximum of the students have answered all the 35 questions. If they have answered all the 35 questions properly, even if they are not getting full marks, but they have answered all the questions, then you can be satisfied that yes, their quantity of learning is perfect. That means whatever was the syllabus, within that entire syllabus, you all have made a question paper consisting of 35 questions, and all those 35 questions were answered. I'm not saying whether they were answered correctly or not. That's a different story altogether, but they have done it. So you can say their quantity of learning was perfect. But what about quality? Obviously, it has something very special. Now, how the children answer, what type of language they use, how they present the answers, how they present the answer sheet to you all. From there, how you get the answers. Maybe some of the answers the teachers have given themselves, but some of the answers the children have developed by their own selves with beautiful, excellent words. The way of the presentation of the answers, the diagrams, the illustrations are beyond the normal ones. Then we say that the quality of learning is also very good. So that is why achievement test and drafting test items helps us in ascertaining the quality and quantity of learning. But what is this achievement test all about? What is this achievement test all about? It's nothing, the normal test that we conduct in the schools or the board conducts, and what results they get. Achievement, how much they achieve. And drafting test items, it is the process of making question papers. Drafting means writing, and test items are actually, we say, when we talk about test items, where actually these are actually typical words that we generally use in the academic world. Of items means questions, nothing more than that. Okay, so let's move forward and see what else we have today. What will we learn today? See, in order to understand this entire training program, in order to understand the entire process of achievement test and drafting test, we have to know a little bit about Bloom's taxonomy and the revised Bloom's taxonomy. You may say, sir, what's the use of Bloom's taxonomy? We are here to discuss about question papers, the art of question paper making, how to correct the question papers, what type of examinations we will conduct, but where Bloom's taxonomy is all about. Why you have suddenly punched Bloom's taxonomy into it? So, respected teachers, I'll tell you, without Bloom's taxonomy, or rather better to say, without revised Bloom's taxonomy, we will not be able to move an inch in our classroom, in our day-to-day work in the classroom. Now, achievement test and drafting test are a part of this classroom work, and here we have to take Bloom's taxonomy into consideration. I'll explain more in details. We will study, or we will have a discussion about the key stages of test developments, how we will develop the tests, We will also discuss about a blueprint. Many of us don't bother about this. What is a blueprint? Blueprint is a planning on what type of questions you will make. Okay. Process of item writing, how you will write the questions. What are the techniques of writing the questions? Then assembling the test, how we will assemble the test. I will make the test a perfect one. And of course, after the end of the test, when the examination is conducted, the result is given, how we will apprise the test. What result we have got out of the test? Was my way of making the question paper perfect? Did I ask the actual questions which are supposed to be asked, which are viable for the students to learn? This is also very, very important, because after, actually, respectively, I'll tell you, after the end of the examination, once we make the result, we forget everything. But we have to analyze that also. This is also very important. Okay, so here we go with Bloom's taxonomy. Very quickly, I will go through Bloom's taxonomy. A peep at revised Bloom's taxonomy. We'll see revised Bloom's taxonomy and Bloom's taxonomy. So, in 1956, Benjamin Bloom and his associates, they made a framework which classifies the statements of what teachers expect or wants the students to learn as a consequence of their instructions. In a very simple way, you instruct the children what you expect from them to learn. That's what exactly Benjamin Bloom has described in his taxonomy. And taxonomy is naming. Those who are biology people, they know it better. Taxonomy means a set of classification. Classify. Okay, this is this, this is this, this is this. Classification principles, structure, or simply domain, or simply a category. So taxonomy means a set of classifications. You will classify the things, or say maybe principles, or maybe structures that you prepare in order to learn something, or the areas of learning, domain we call, or in a very, very simple, the categories of learning. This theoretical account is generally classified under three broad areas. Okay, this theoretical account is about learning. It is divided into three. It is under three broad areas or domains, further into levels that run from simple to complex behaviors. Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy tells us about that classification, about the various, and within this classification, there are broad areas under which we study them, and they come from the simple to the complex behaviors. Okay. The three domains of learning, we all know this. The cognitive, which is the knowledge-based domain consisting of 6 layers. We have 6 layers over here. Okay, the cognitive domain, knowledge-based domain. It is totally based on the knowledge you're applying your brain, consisting of 6 layers. What are the 6 layers? We will see. Affective. Next is the affective or the attitudinal-based domains consisting of, it also has 5 layers, and the psychomotor domain. Skill-based domain consisting of 6 layers. Now, the cognitive domain, respected teachers, you can see over here. I have given this illustration of the brain, where you apply the brain. We think, we remember, we recollect. And affective is heart. When you apply your heart to your learning, when you go beyond the stereotype learning of just mugging and jugging the things, or whatever little bit of learning and going for an examination somehow to pass the examination and get a job, that is what we generally go with the cognitive learning. Along with the psychomotor, that is where you used our hands in order to write, to do diagrams, to do experiments. But when you move away from the stereotype learning, and we have to create something different, something when we apply our heart to it. Only a handful of people are there who apply their heart. That is why we have inventors and discoverers and Nobel Prize winners, because they go in a different way. Even many teachers also have unique and unparalleled style of teaching. They have different ways of teaching, which are not good for which are not capable of being doing by many people. So there they apply their heart. Okay. Well, as far as the audio is concerned, I think many of you can hear me. Just let me know if you can hear, because I'm getting a few messages that my audio is not audible to them. Okay, so please let me know this also time to time. Okay, the cognitive domain, what is this? Quickly, the largest portion, the largest proportion of educational or teaching learning objective falls into the cognitive domain. Yes, respected teachers, the largest proportion of our education part of teaching, learning, that falls into the cognitive domain. It includes those objectives that deal with what? Recall. Means what the teacher has taught, the student will recall that. Recognize something that the teacher has taught, try to recognize that of the learned material. And development of intellectual abilities and skills. So with this intellectual abilities and skills developed, the psychomotor, which is also known as cognitive domain. This area is concerned with physical, motor, or manipulation skills. Like we use our hands for handwriting, for practicals, for drawing, for illustrating, and so on and so forth. And of course, we also have the affective domain. Okay, this area is concerned with the heart, extra feelings, beyond the stereotype learnings. It is concerned with interest, how serious you are with a particular part, your attitudes and values, and the development of appreciation and adequate adjustments. Oh, thank you, Supriya madam. Thank you so much. My voice is clear. So, affective domain, which is beyond the stereotyping. This is where we go. We will also a little bit see about it when we'll go a little further. Now, quickly, what is Bloom's taxonomy? How Bloom started it? Bloom said that Bloom's taxonomy is actually divided into 6 different layers. Okay, the knowledge, he said in 1956 when Bloom made this, he said that the majority of the students in the class, when you go for the teaching learning process, the major portion of learning is only about knowledge. And then, you know, from there you'll find if you have 40 children in your classroom, maybe all the 40 children are gaining knowledge. But out of that, you will, if a little higher learning will also take place within the classroom, but some of them will be able to comprehend, means to understand, and they will come out with the different ways. Then some will try to apply them. Whatever you have taught, a good number of students will try to apply them. That is what we call is application. And then after that, another good number of students, okay, or the process will go on, the learning process will go on, but children will try to analyze it. They'll go for analysis. Okay. Then after that, synthesis to make something new. And after making it, they will try to find out whether whatever they have met, are they justified or not. This is what Bloom has said in his taxonomy. Now, a lot of studies can be done over here, but in a very nutshell, I'm trying to discuss. So when you talk about knowledge, generally what happens, children, they can list a number of things that you have taught. They can define a few things what you have told. They will recall what you have told. They will try to arrange them. They will try to place them in certain orders. Okay, they will whatever they have memorized, they will give. But the next group of children, say within that, okay, students some will try to comprehend. They will try to discuss the answer in a different way. They may try to generalize them with their own ideas. A good number of them will try to operate and apply some sort of ways or means in order to make whatever you have studied, whether really it is like that or not. So they will operate or they will apply, they will try to solve it, they will try to demonstrate whatever you have taught. Okay, they will try to make sketches, they will try to dramatize the part, they will illustrate something to make it more comprehensive. Some will try to analyze it, they will try to question about they will try to question whatever you have said, they'll try to differentiate it. We'll do some experiments on all these things. So this is what is the first level. This is what Bloom has said that generally happens in a classroom. Now we have some lower order. If you take up to application over here, we call it as lower order thinking, and then higher order thinking. In our classroom, generally we have lower order thinking studies maximum. Higher order thinking is also there. So okay, this is what Benjamin Bloom has said in 1956. That this is how learning process takes part in our classrooms. And it went on for a long period of time. And one more thing you will notice that all these words are actually verbs. If you notice them, you will find all these words are actually verbs. Okay. This, if you see my pointer, the knowledge, comprehension, application, these are actually verbs. This is what Bloom said. But you know, the world changes. The world cannot stay stagnant at a particular place. It is always dynamic in nature. Okay, so research goes on, and in the mid-90s, you know, some changes were taking place. In the mid-90s, some changes were taking place, and in 2001, a revised Bloom's taxonomy came out. The Bloom's taxonomy was revised. A revised Bloom's taxonomy came out, and you know, respected teachers, to be very honest with you, from 1956 to 2000. This Bloom's taxonomy was going on, and in 2001, actually, they came out with a revised Bloom's taxonomy, and it is not so easy to challenge Bloom's taxonomy. It needs a lot of stamina, a lot of guts, a lot of understanding, a lot of clear-cut methods to say whether this can be challenged or not, or it can be revised or not. So in 2001, 3 gentlemen who were also students of Bloom, they were Lorin Anderson, this gentleman with the spectacles on, Lorin Anderson, David Krathall, his name is David Krathall, and Paul Pintridge. There were a few more were also there. There was Cruikshank was there, and then Anita Harrow was also associated with this revision of Bloom's taxonomy. And they said something different. They said that classroom is a happening place. Classroom is a happening place. Classroom is a place which is action oriented. It's not a stagnant place. It's not a stationary place. So something different is happening in the classroom, and they came out with a more clear-cut idea, and this is this one. So in 2001, Lauren Anderson, a former student of Bloom, he revised the taxonomy. He changed the taxonomy. And according to Lauren Anderson, and his friends, okay, and or his colleagues, they said, according to Lauren Anderson, a classroom is an action-oriented place. It's an happening area. So he changed the 6 categories from noun to verb. If you see, respected teachers, over here, the original taxonomy over here, if you see in this corner, the original taxonomy is right over here. Okay, this is what Benjamin Bloom said: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evolution. These are actually nouns. These words are nouns. And Lauren Anderson said, no, there is some differences. A classroom is a happening area. It's an action-oriented area. So we have to change the words. And those words, if you see now, he said that in a classroom, actually students remember in the first process of learning. Some of them understand it and come out with different ideas. Okay, some of them understand it. Many of them try to apply it. A few will analyze. And one more change, it is said that first evaluating will be done, then creation. Let's start from the beginning. Now, what Bloom said, that students get knowledge when you teach. Okay, fine. But Anderson says that if we talk about knowledge, then it's a based on a broad area. It has a very broad meaning. Say, for example, if you ask me, if we have right now, say, madam is sitting with us. Shubhashree madam is sitting with us. And if you ask me, sir, do you have any knowledge? Sir, do you have any knowledge about Shubhashree madam? Hello? Yes. जी हाँ जी हाँ सब कुछ है जी 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 Okay, sorry for this. There's a phone call from NTA. Okay, so Anderson said that children generally remember. Like just now I was telling that if you ask me, sir, do you have any knowledge about Shubhashree ma'am? If you ask me, then I should have complete detailed information about Shubhashree ma'am with facts and figures, like where she is from, how much she has educated, what is her educational background, where she lives, what are the things she likes, what are the things she doesn't like, and all this thing. If I know all this, then I will have knowledge about. But if you ask me, sir, do you remember Shubhashree ma'am? I'll say, okay, yes, I remember her. She is principal of this particular school. She's a very good resource person, and her subject is biology, and like this. So that is remembering. So children generally in the first part of learning, they remember things. And this remembering area is a major area. Why I am giving so much stress to this remembering area? Because when you will go to this question paper making, then you will see how much this remembering area is used. After that, what happens? Children try to understand. Good. We are talking about comprehension, which is again a very broad word. Understanding is a very simple one. Okay, children, some of them will understand and they will try to place the things in a different way. Many of them will try to apply whatever you have studied in various ways, and means to make the understanding more simple and more comprehensive. Some will try to analyze it. They will try to break it into small parts, join, rejoin, to find what they really studied is true or not. And one more thing you will see over here. Bloom said first synthesis means first they will try to make something new out of that learning when they will apply their art, and then they will try to evaluate it and find what are the things they are correct or not. But Anderson said, no, let the children or let the learning be like this, that first evaluating should be done. What are the good points? What are the negative points? What are the positive? They should be dealt very clearly, because we just cannot waste our energy and time. If we do something and then after that, if we find that these are the faults, then it's no use of doing it. No? It's no use of doing it. So first find out the limitations, remove the weeds wherever they are. Okay, clear everything, and then come out with something new, something different, which will be remembered for a long period of time. This is what, that you create something new out of that learning, what the teacher has taught. And this is exactly what happens in our day-to-day classrooms. Respected teachers, every day you will go to classroom and find that this is what exactly is you are doing. Okay, and this new taxonomy, it reflects more an active form of thinking and is perhaps the most accurate one. This taxonomy, this is the more accurate one, and we all are using revised Bloom's taxonomy in our day-to-day teaching learning process. So quickly again, explanation of that. Remember, now we are over there, revised Bloom's taxonomy. Recall facts on basic concepts. So with generally students, they define, they duplicate the answers, they make lists, they memorize, they repeat, and they state the answers. This is what they do. Most of the students do. But a good number of them, they try to explain ideas or concepts, they classify, they describe the things, discuss, explain, and this is also part of the learning. We make them understand it in this way. Some will use the information in new situations, they will execute, they will impart, they will solve, they'll try to demonstrate and come out with new ideas. Some will try to draw connections from various ideas, they will differentiate it, they will organize that study, they will compare and contrast, which will give a deeper understanding of the learning. Which which nowadays we say that when the concept learning goes on, they will go more deep into the matter and try and make themselves competent enough with the ideas so that they can carry them for the rest of their life. And after that, they will try to justify or they will make decisions. Appraise, they will argue the matters, they will try to judge it, select it, support, value it, and finally produce a new or work which will definitely have some relevance to the studies. So when they will go beyond the stereotype learning, this is what revised Bloom's taxonomy talks about. And this creation and evolution means when you apply in different situations about your learning to come out with new ideas. This is what Bloom said. Okay. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this, the old one and the new one. And what the teachers expect from by doing with Bloom's taxonomy? They remember. Remembering means what do I expect my learner to know? Understanding. Can learners interpret what they know? Many of them can interpret what they know. That's what the teacher wants to know. No? Applying, can the learners see the relevance of the ideas in the situation? That's what a teacher like you want to know. Analyzing means, can the learners analyze elements in the subject field? Can they analyze relationship with one another? And evaluating, can the learners make judgments based on their learning? And finally, can they create something? This is what, as a teacher like you and me, will expect from our students. And this you can say, I'll tell you, this is the basis of making the question paper. Let's go a little forward. So knowingly or unknowingly, respected teachers, I will tell you, we are using Bloom's taxonomy or revised Bloom's taxonomy daily in our classrooms for teaching learning process. Without Bloom's taxonomy and revised Bloom's taxonomy, we simply cannot move an inch in our classrooms. It is a fact and it has been there for a long period of time. It is right now and it will go on. One more thing I want to add over here, we are talking a lot about NEP 2020. Now the curriculum frameworks have come. There are a lot of discussions about this type of question, that type of question, competency-based question, art-integrated question. But respected teacher, the basics will always remain the same. Maybe little bit change here and there will be there, but the basics will always remain the same. How you make the question paper depends upon you. Okay. So now let us write down this we will not see right now. This is for offline training program. Okay. So for the purpose of development of test items in the exams conducted by boards as well as by schools, we will restrict ourselves to the cognitive domain only. Okay. We'll not go to the psychomotor domain or will not go to the affective domain right now. We will only discuss about the cognitive domain. Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive domain provides an excellent structure for preparing, designing, measuring, and assessing the effectiveness of instructions and learning. Yes, respected teachers, Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive domain, the 6 domains just now that we have seen: remembering, understanding, analyzing, applying, evaluating, and creating. These 6 domains are very much useful for us in preparing, designing, measuring, assessing the effectiveness of instruction that we have given to the children. This structure also functions as a checklist by which a teacher can ensure that teaching is planned to deliver all the necessary development for students. Yes, it's like a checklist. You can check that whether you have done this or not. This framework is widely used across the globe. in teaching, learning, and assessment activities. Yes, respected teachers, it is not only restricted to schools in India, but everywhere we are using it, everywhere, even in higher education also. Let us learn a few terms. Okay, before we enter into the question paper making, let us understand a few terms. I don't know whether you will be able to see or not, but a few terms it is very important for us to know, like blueprint. What is this? It is a description on how the test will be constructed. Okay, in details with giving facts and figures. Competency-based assessment, assessment that are designed to measure the generic knowledge and skills that are cross-curricular, means mixed curricular, beyond curricular, okay, where students have to apply a deep thinking over there. Then we have constructed response items. An item means a question where a student constructs or generates an answer, okay, by using word, sentence, and all these things. That is called a constructed response item. Okay, contextual information, data collected through various questionnaires. That is also very much important for us in our question paper making. Curriculum-based assessments, that the assessment that you make through distractors, the incorrect options which are provided in a multiple choice question or a multiple choice answer. Domain, the area of learning. Content area, the content categories or subdomains that are to be included in the test, which are specific to the domain. For example, in mathematics, typical content categories are number, space, measurement, statistics. Okay, we have a syllabus, right? In that syllabus, we have the structure. Now, over there are different types of content areas which are to be taught and which children should learn. Then we have items. Item means questions. Key, the correct answer, which is acceptable in a multiple choice question. Thank you, sir. Okay, response formats, in which way the students are responding, whether it's a multiple choice questions or it's a close constructed response, that I'll discuss right now. STEM is the actual question part, actual problem that is written in words in a multiple choice question, that we call it as a STEM. Stimulus material, the answer that we give. Target population, the population for whom the assessment is being attempted or made. Okay, and test developers. Who are test developers? Test developers are the people who make the question papers, like you and me. Those responsible producing test content, including contributing to the test design, writing items, helping to interpret the trial data, to select items and all. In a very simple way, test developers are the teachers who develop the test, who make the question. These are all technical terms with a little bit of twist here and there, but basically it is the same. Okay. The achievement test. Now we were entering into achievement. What is it, this? Achievement test followed by assessment and evaluation play a very important role in the teaching learning process. That I hope all of you will agree. The test followed by the assessment and the evaluation there we do, they play a very important role in our teaching learning process. These processes help teachers to get a clear-cut information on students. And what information we get? Whether they are learning regularly or not. We conduct tests. We conduct we give them small assignments, and there to find out whether they are learning regularly or not. That is one. Second, diagnose their weakness and inadequacies. We can also get an idea about their weaknesses. Like suppose if we find that many children are making spelling mistakes, or they don't have the proper idea about the use of grammar, or maybe the punctuations, or maybe they don't know the exact way of calculating the things. So these are the inadequacies which will also help us to get in, so that we can help them in a better way. And finally, to see that improvement happens and learning happens. So this is why we just conduct these tests and all. Okay. Achievement test, this is the technical definition. Achievement test is a device, a formation that helps in ascertaining the quality and quantity of learning. That will help us to find out the quality and quantity of learning attained in a subject of study after a period of instruction by measuring the present ability of the concerned individual. Or in a very simple way, we teach the children for a certain period of time. We have in a session, we have terms, term 1, term 2, term 3, final term, so on and so forth. So what do? We take a particular term, we teach them, and after teaching them, we conduct some tests to find out how much they have learned or how much they have been able to retain with them. This is that thing. In a country like ours, everything depends upon what the students score at the end of the term. So this is a technical definition. Achievement test is a device that helps to ascertaining the quality and quantity of learning. Okay, fine. Attained in a subject of study after a period of instruction. Okay, by measuring the present day, means on the very examination day, how much the student has remembered. That is why we have a particular examination day. And that is how the system moves on. Fine, very good. Let's see what we have still have. Objectives of assessment test. Why we conduct it? What is objective? Thank you, Neelam ma'am. Why? To realize the degree of understanding, comprehension, and higher skills achieved by students. Why conduct the achievement test? To see the degree of how much they have understood, how much the children have understood, how much higher skills they have achieved by the students. Okay, and how much they have understood it, understanding and comprehending. To identify the areas of difficulty for the students. Okay, there are. Just now I discussed about that also. Where are the areas of difficulty? Some children may be able to write very good. Okay, their handwriting is perfect. The spellings they don't make mistake. But when they come for descriptions, they are very weak. So that will help us to find out their difficulty levels. Results of achievement test provides feedback to teachers about their teaching methods. Also, yes. Yes, respected teachers, these achievement tests are not only for the students to find out how much they have learned. This is also useful. This is also, thank you, ma'am. It is also useful for us teachers. Say, for example, in a classroom of 40 students, if you conduct a particular examination or a test, and if 35 of them have scored 90%, that means your teaching is excellent. Of course, the 5% who have 5 students who have not scored, that is negligible. Your teaching is excellent and you can make it much better. But if you take it on the other way around, suppose if 35 students have scored less than the pass mark and only 5 pass, that means there is something wrong with your teaching method. That's why the children have not understood it properly. So you have to change your method. So definitely, it also helps us to know exactly where we are standing with our methods and skills of teaching. Very important. It is also good for us. Okay. Now, types of achievement. What are the different types of achievement tests? There are 2 types of achievement tests. One is called the standardized test and another is teacher-made test. Now, according to Lee J. Convac is supposed to be one of the father of making tests. He is supposed to be the person who came out with the ideas of tests and all, and that's why children across the world curse it. Okay. Anyway, that's a different story altogether. A standardized test is a test in which the procedures, okay, apparatus, and scoring are fixed. And the same test can be given at same time at different places. So a standardized test is a test in which the procedures, the apparatus, and the scoring, everything is fixed, and you can give the same test at the same time at different locations. And this is done by whom? By the experts via a long drawn process. They prepare them and their reliability and vitality is ensured. Example, the board exams. The board exams are the standardized test. These are same throughout the country. The timing is also same. The marks given is also same. And each and every child who is associated with CBSE, has studied CBSE class 10 and 12, will go for this test. And their reliability and vitality is ensured. These tests are being prepared by experts. Of course, the experts are no one else than you and me. The teachers like you and me are also the experts. And this is known as the standardized test. And it is through the standardized test at school, a student's quality is ensured, fortunately or unfortunately. What about teacher-made test? Well, these tests are also very important. These tests are prepared by teachers themselves and are concerned with limited and specific field of knowledge or ability of performance. Now, respected teachers, I'll just go back a little bit over here. When we talk about standardized test, a standardized test is like a board examination, okay? And in this test, although we have a syllabus of class 9 and 10 or 10, but if you look, everything that a child studies right from KG, nursery to class 10 is actually used over here. In the same way also, the same thing is happened, but in a different way. We'll go to the wrong one. This teacher-made test, they are prepared by teachers themselves. They themselves prepare, okay, and are concerned with limited and specific field of knowledge or ability of performance. Okay, like the periodic test, the weekend test, the Monday test, year-end test are examples of teacher-made test. We teach a particular part, okay, to a particular part of the syllabus, a particular content of the syllabus, and we conduct a test to see to get a local information that how much they have learned on that particular matter. But these tests are highly effective in finding out the day-to-day progress of students as well as the persistent difficulties faced by them. Why we conduct it? Why we have the weekly test, the monthly test? Okay, why? Because to see that how much the student has learned on a small area, small domain, okay, on a short domain or a limited domain, and how much idea they have got it. Through this, they will move forward by joining. Now that's why you can have a test, say one day you can have a test on biology on exclusively on the rib cage, or you may have a test on the heart, or you may have a test on magnets and magnetic fields, or you may have a test on pressure, and so on and so forth. So these tests are also very, very important, and they help us to locally to get the idea how much my school students are doing and how they will move to the board examinations in future. So that is why, and please, for God's sake, take these tests regularly. Keep a record of these tests. Keep a record of these tests. Steps involved in achievement test. What are the steps in order to make a step? Thank you, Simran ma'am. What are the steps that are involved to make this achievement test? What are the things you will do? The likelihood of preparing a valid, reliable, and a useful classroom test is greatly enhanced if a series of steps are followed as shown below. If you want to make a wonderful test for your children, when they will come out of the class, after giving the test, they will tell you, oh, sir, what a test it was. Oh, madam, what a test it was. We really enjoyed it. Then you have to follow these parts. What are they? The first of all, 1 minute, there's a call. Yes, good evening. हाँ जी मैडम बोलिए. हाँ जी मैडम प्लीज बोलिए. अमन कुमार. हाँ जी. हाँ. किसका प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम नहीं है? अच्छा हाँ मैडम, तो क्या बोले मैडम, आपको इसलिए अमन कुमार के बारे में. हाँ जी 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 जी. अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. ठीक ठीक ठीक, हम देख लेते हैं मैडम, डेफिनेटली. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू सो मच. Sorry again, a phone call came from CBSE office. Determine the purpose of the test. Okay. To determine the purpose, you first have to determine for what purpose you are taking the test. Maybe it is a monthly test to fulfill the monthly test part. Also to know whether your students have understood this particular part that you have taught, or you may know that in this particular area a lot of difficult spellings are there. So you are conducting the test. When the students will answer, they will have to face a lot of difficult spellings, and if they are able to write those difficult spellings correctly, then definitely it is good. Developing test specifications, what type of test it will be, long answer test, short answer test. Prepare a blueprint. Whenever you take a test, my respected teachers, I'll tell you, prepare a small blueprint. Prepare a planning. That will help you to remember the things possible, what you have done. And it will also help your principal, because it is not possible for your principal to go and see each and every detail of how the test you are conducting. But if you prepare a blueprint and just place it in front of her or him, they will keep it and they will remember, okay, this particular test was done for this. These were the types of questions. These were the areas from where the learning achievements were supposed to be taken, so on and so forth. And selecting and preparing appropriate item type. Okay, and what type of item was also used. Okay, so these are some of the things that we should do before we enter into a test. Okay, planning is everything. Life is all about planning. Let's move a little forward. Designing of achievement test. How will you design? Say, creating quality items and test is a challenging and resource intensive process. It's very challenging. A teacher should have a lot of resources within him or her in order to make an excellent question paper. What is crucial if the test is to provide a valid, reliable information on student achievement. If you want to give a valid and a reliable achievement of the student's achievement to the parents, to the school, then you have to make such a question paper from where you will get exactly how the child has studied. It's really challenging. One should have a good amount of knowledge and resources with them. That's why you'll find when the new teachers come, initially we don't give them the charge of making question papers. We have in all schools we have a group of resource people, group of test developers. They prepare the question papers. This is also done in many schools. A good test, if you conduct a good test, focus on what students know, understand, and can do, and measure only what it intends to measure. Yes, see this line. A good test focuses on what students know, understand, and can, and measure only what it intends to measure. You measure what you want to measure from there. Okay. It is equitable to all students and is free from any form of bias. It should be same for everybody. There should not be any bias forms in the question paper making, like or gender, ethnicity, or student background that do not relate to the aspect of learning in focus. What we are concerned about the learning in focus. Sometimes, they say that, okay, these children are village area children. They should not be given a very difficult paper. Or these are children with special needs. They should not be given a difficult paper. They should be given, or sometimes which I don't like at all is when on gender based questions are sometimes made. Okay, for this gender, make a tough paper. For this gender, make a difficult paper. These things should not be there. Learning is same for all. Because the process of learning is same, then why the achievement test and why the exercises, why the assessments given to them will also not be same. Thank you so much, Anita Singh, madam. Thank you very much. So these are the essential. Paper should be same for all. Right. Next one. Characteristics of a good test. If you are a good, if you are a teacher, you all are great teacher and you all are great examinations. You are conducting them. So what are the characteristics of a good test? Provides a fair and balanced of all aspects of learning in focus. Whatever you are teaching your students, these are the things you have to keep in mind when you make the question paper. Then it should be fair and balanced with all aspects of learning. Whatever has been taught to you, that should be given. Don't make a too difficult paper. Don't make too easy paper. Otherwise, when I started my career, in the first initial days, in order to show that I am a great teacher, I made a very difficult paper and most of the children could not pass. And my principal told me one thing very clearly, and that I still take it as gospel. She told me one thing, that Surojit, remember, no matter how good teacher you are, how brilliant teacher you are, how honest teacher you are, how sincere teacher you are, if your children don't pass, you are nothing. So make a question paper in a very balanced way. Contains items covering a wide range of difficulties. There should be a wide range of difficulties also. Don't make an extremely easy paper or extremely difficult paper. Includes concepts that are central to the aspects of learning in focus. It should have concepts that are central to the learning. What you have taught, what the children should know, what according to syllabus it is given, that should be there. Avoid give any advantage or disadvantage to any group. Okay, these are soft groups. These are city people. These are village people. They don't have that much access. All these things should not be there. And is interesting for the test takers. Those who will take the test, it should be interesting for them. At the end when they will come out of their classroom, they will be able to say, "Sir, what a perfect paper it was. Madam, क्या test था? मजा आ गया इस test देके. मैं तो इतना लेकर आऊंगा ही आऊंगा. Please make these types of text for us." This is what children generally should say when they come out of the examination hall. And there's a saying Socrates said that understanding a question is half an answer. Yes. If we make the question very specific and if our students are able to understand the question, we can say half an answer is written over there. Okay, half an answer is already there. So items or questions, what are the different types of items? There are two types of items. One is called selected response, another is called constructed response. Okay, one is called selected response, another is called constructed response. The multiple choice questions, true and false, fill in the blanks, match the following, these are selected response. Answer is already there with the question, only the student have to select the correct answer and give it. Answers are given already, examiner just needs to select the item. And short answer items or long answer items and constructed items are what? They are like short answers and long answers. The children construct them. Here the answers are written using words, sentences to construct a full item. That's it's called construct. Like a house is constructed now, one by one brick is joined to make a big house along with that other things. The same over here, constructed. So remember these two technical terms, respected teachers. We have selected response and we have constructed response. Selected response, answer is already there. It is very much there. All the children need to know is to select the correct one and construct it. Let them make some answers with using words, sentences, ornamental sentences, and all. Selected response. What are this? In this category, in selected response, multiple choice items or MCQs are the most popular ones. And it is now we can understand the value of these MCQs. Since there is only one correct response, so they can be reliably scored. Yes, they can be reliably scored. Fast, they can score very fast. But respected, I'll tell you, in order to give the correct answer in the multiple choice question, students have to study A lot. They have to go from deep to deeper into the subject. Then only they will be able to give you the correct answer, otherwise not. And through this MCQs, we will also be able to find out exactly how much a student has studied. What is his quantity and quality of learning? Once upon a time, people used to think that MCQs are nothing. Okay, अरे वो तो बस टक 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 लिख देंगे हो जाएगा आंसर, इसको मार्क कर देंगे उसको. It's not like that. तक नहीं है, बहुत सोचने पड़ता है, बहुत दिमाग लगाने पड़ता है, तब जाके बच्चा सही आंसर लिख के लाएगा. और दूसरी बात ये है कि जो एमसीक्यू का क्वेश्चन बनाता है ना, that particular teacher also have to be a very, very resourceful person. Yes, Karkata madam, it's exactly like that. Then only they will be able to come out. And it gives us accurate measurement also. And if it is not done in a proper way, then we will never get it. So in this category, multiple choice items are most popular ones since there is only one correct answer and response can be reliably scored, faster for students also. However, good MCQ are not easy to construct and require skilled test developers. A teacher should have enough knowledge to make it. If the distractors, the incorrect responses are not pulsable, not near to the correct answer, it becomes easy for the student to guess the correct answer. So this interferes with the accurate measurement of the student. Now, I'll explain a little bit over here. We may take a 10 or 12 minutes extra for the session. Okay, but explanation is needed. Now, suppose if you have made a question on an MCQ question on a particular point. Now, when you will give the responses, the responses should be nearest to the correct answer. They should not have any other relevance to the correct answer. Otherwise, the student will get it very easily that this is the correct answer. Everything should be related to that particular point of study. Suppose if you are asking, let's take for the example. Suppose we are asking a question, what do you understand by bond energy in a chemistry question? Now, the correct answer is definitely the energy possessed by two bonds. But if I give other response as energy possessed by James Bond or the energy that my mother gets after drinking Brook Bond tea, if these types of responses we give, then the students will very clearly understand that this is the correct answer. Then the very much understanding of or measurement of their skills of learning will not be with us. So that is why whenever you make MCQs, make sure that the distractors, which are the incorrect answers, are also pulsable, means they are somewhere near to the correct answer. Within that structure of learning, they should be there. Nothing out of that learning. Closed construct response, what are these? Closed construct response are very short response of just one or two words or a numeric one. They are called closed answers. These are constructed. The student have to write their answers, but they are very close and there is only one specific answer. As there is only one acceptable response or a limited range of responses. Okay. Like say, for example, we say, what is the capital of India? It's a closed answer question. Capital of India is New Delhi. There is no other response to it. Okay, if somebody says, no, it is, sir, Patliputra तो होता था ना, sir, yeah, sir, इंद्रप्रस्थ भी तो एक टाइम में इंडिया का कैपिटल था, वो सब नहीं चलता. Present day में capital of India is New Delhi is the answer. Or say, how many bones are there in an adult human being? It's a very specific question. How many bones are there in an adult human being? The correct answer is 206. There is nothing more than this answer. No other answer will be accepted. But suppose if you make a question, how many bones are there in a human being? Then we can have multiple answers, no correct answers. 206 can be also a correct answer. 306 can also be a correct answer because a child has more bones. So that is why be very specific. In closed questions, it is very specific answers. Or what are the contents of the nucleus of an atom? We can ask a question. For a 10th standard student, the contents of the nucleus of an atom are what? Protons and neutrons. Nothing more than that. If somebody says something, we will not get the correct answer. No? So this is the beauty of closed constructed responses, that one word answer, one sentence answer that we generally go for. Okay. They are called closed constructed responses. Okay. These ones also are part of the remembering part. Short open answers. Short open responses request students to generate and construct their own answers with a wide range of correct responses will be there. These short answers can be given in form of explanations with mathematical expressions. They can do the make diagrams, analyze or evaluate them, and give adequate space and paper so that they can write properly. This will also help us to access how much basic level of understanding the students have gathered. Examples are like differentiate between distance and displacement. It's a short open answer. What is the difference between distance and displacement? We know that the total length traveled by a body is known as distance, whereas displacement is the shortest distance from the starting to the ending point. And that the children can draw illustrations can be made and make us understand. These are known as short open responses. Or say why human blood circulation is called double circulation. So there the children can write. It is called double circulation because the blood circulates twice inside the body. Once from lungs to heart, which is known as pulmonary circulation, and from heart to various parts of the body and back to heart, which is known as systemic circulation. Or say, draw a well-labeled diagram of the various types of soils found in India. So they can make a diagram and make. Students can also have them sent to answer in bullet point form also in these short response items. Okay, short open response. Remember the term short open response means they will have the freedom to write and express according to their own ways and means, provided they should give the correct answer, of course. Then we will go to the essay type answers, the big ones, 5 marks questions. Essay type items are designed to elicit the response of one or more paragraph from the student, one or more paragraphs, where we go for where, and teachers can write challenging items in that test. They can just really quiz the students. Students can analyze, compare, draw complex conclusions, and evaluate the written form. Answers to essay type items require the basic response format. There can be an introductory part, why this is there. Summary, the main points can be given one by one. What results come out from those points, and there can be a conclusion. This is how a long answer should be written. Like one example of one question is given over here. Explain the circumstances that helped the middle class to bring social and economic changes in France in 18th century. A social science question, and it's a long answer question where the student can follow these steps, like give an introduction to the answer or a aim of the answer. What are the points to be taken into consideration? What results generate, and they can come out with the conclusion. That we all remember, na, how the middle class changed the economic ways. You remember those of us who studied history in class 9 and 10. You remember that in France, when the people were just there was almost like a famine. There was no food and nothing. And the common people went to the king, and they asked that we don't have breads, please give us breads. So the queen made a mockery of them and said, oh, they are asking for breads, let them eat cakes. This is supposed to be one of the worst what do you say, a communication towards the people made by the monarch in the history of human beings. And after that, the revolution spread. No, they went inside the castle, and they took out the king and the queen and hanged them. And revolution took place, and a new world started. So this is how we will write the long answers. Okay, part by part, step by step. Little more. How to make short answer type items and questions. So make sure that everything is according to the learning outcome. Take care of the linguistic level. Yes, very important. Linguistic level of the students, the language by which they have studied, and they will be able to write. Don't use, if you are a person with a PhD degree, please don't apply the language of your PhD degree on your students. Then they will not understand. You have to come down to their level. This is one of the basics of our learning also. Make sure that items are from the items are free from any unintentional clues. Don't give any unintentional clues. Otherwise, the quality of learning will never be measured. Make sure that item has one clearly correct answer. Okay. Structure item so that the item is short and crossable. Use direct questions format. Make sure length of blanks should be appropriate. Yes, this is number 8 point I want to discuss, because many of us make a mistake over here. Number 8 point, make sure that the length of blanks should be appropriate to the answers. Yes. Suppose if you are giving questions on fill in the blanks, and if the answer will consist of only 2 letters, so please make the blank which will look like as 2 letters will get fixed over there. Don't make a big blank, because the students will be confused. And remember, respected teachers, during the examination time, you or students should not spend time of thinking what they are supposed to do. They should not be beating around the bush. You have to have, if you want specific answers, you have to answer specific questions. Or say if the answer is quite big with many letters, don't give a short blank. Students will get confused. Make a big blank so that the students will get an instant idea. No, this answer needs a bigger word. This answer needs a smaller word. And please don't copy the text directly from books. Make your own questions. You are a very, very intelligent teacher. You are an innovative teacher. You have a lot of ideas. So why should you copy it from the book? Come out with your own questions, your own innovations, your own research-based questions. How to write essay types or long answers? How to write them? Okay, write the item in a simple, clear-cut, direct language, carefully considering the duration. Make sure you give an information how much time you will require, how much time the students should require to answer it, within how many words they should require, and how they should start it and end it. Okay, so use essay type answers for and please use them for competency-based questions where a little bit of thinking is needed, little bit of knowledge is needed, little bit of understanding is needed, so that they can carry that to their next level of learning. Make sure you make rubrics and all these things advanced so that you can get an idea about what the students have done, and always maintain the linguistic level. Multiple choice questions. These are the questions that really, really make us fun. See, an MCQ or a multiple choice question or multiple choice item, it consists of three. These are the parts which are there in the question. There is a lead sentence. First of all, it has a lead sentence. Then there's a stimulus. It may be there, it may not be there. Then the actual question comes. Then the actual question comes, which is known as the stem. Then we have the key, that is the correct answer, and followed by distractors, whether the incorrect answers, which should be pulsable in nature, and sometimes a rational is given that explains why this distractor is pulsable yet incorrect. Okay, sometimes it is given, it may not be. So whenever we make multiple choice question, we have a lead sentence, we have a stimulus which may be there, may not be there, which can help in giving the answer. We have the stem is the text that states the question. The stem is that question where the problem is written, and the key is the correct answer. Let us see how we will see one question on MCQ. See, this is a question. A bus driver driving a bus is driving along the straight road. The bus driver named Ray. See, Ray has a cup of water resting on the dashboard. So there's this gentleman called Ray. He is driving a bus which is going up the direction, and on the dashboard there's a cup or a glass with water. And this is the stimulus they're saying. Suddenly, Ray has to slam the brakes. Suddenly, he gives the praise. Now, the question is, what is most likely to happen to the water in the glass? This is the stem, the question. This is the stimulus material, and the bus driver, that is the lead sentence that will take us to the question. Okay. Now, see, there are four answers. The water will stay horizontal. That is known as it is not the correct answer. It is a distractor. The water will slip over side one. Okay, will the water slip over side one? Let us go back. No, it cannot slip over side one. Okay, there's a rational. The water will slip over side two. That is the key. That is the correct answer. The water will spill over, but you can't say it will spill on side A or side B. Now, see, respected teachers, the four options are there. All the four options are directly related to that particular question association. Nothing from outside is given to distract the students and come out with the correct answer. It will compel the student to think a little bit. This is a question from inertia of motion, very simple part of physics, of the learning part. And the correct answer is when the driver will slam the brake, it is running. Obviously, the water will fall in the direction on which the bus is running. So this is how we make MCQs. So guidelines for writing MCQs, what are the all items in the learning outcome? Everything should be from what they have studied. An item should assess important contents. Important content should be there. Don't make any unnecessary things. Items should be written in unambiguous, simple, and clear language. Grammar should be followed. Sometimes we don't follow grammar, but it's important. Otherwise, there will be a problem with the stem and the options also. Items should be constructed so that question is located in the stem itself. Items should really be framed in negative. Don't try to make it. That's what we all say. Don't make negative items. Items should have reciprocations in options. Items should have only one correct and best answer. It should have only one correct and best answer. Multiple answers should not be there. Otherwise, the students will get confused. Options should be phrased in such a way that there are no opposites. Absolute items such as always, all, never, only. Please try to avoid them or sparingly use them. Okay. And ensure that answer options do not overlap with each other and vary the position of the key. Yes. The last point number 15, please note, vary the position of the correct answer should be in different positions for different questions. Suppose if you just keep one, sometimes we do it. Even in my earlier days, I also used to do it. I will not say that I was also very good during those days. What do we generally do? Okay, 10 MCQs. Let us give option A as the correct answer. It will be very easy for us to correct. It should not be like that. Vary the position. Answer 1, A. Answer 2 may be C, answer 3 may be D. Like that, you vary. That will compel the students to think. And students are they are very intelligent. Once they understand that, okay, answer 1 is also A, B is also A, C. This teacher has made it in such a way that all the answers will, and they will not do anything. They will simply tick all the A's, and the very essence of learning will not be with us. We will not be able to measure how much they have. They have given the answers, but correct answers have come. But with that, we will not be able to measure it. Our intention is what? Measure how much they have studied. Okay, next part, preparation of a blueprint. Now, whenever you are making a question paper, you have to prepare a blueprint, and that blueprint should go to the principal. The test blueprint is a crucial document that summarizes the structure of an assessment, determines how the test to be designed and developed. Okay. And the test blueprint, it provides in a tabulated list the following: which strand or topic, subtopic, or the curriculum will be assessed, which cognitive process skills will be assessed. Cognitive processes, we have discussed now, understanding this is to be assessed. What will be the item format? What type of item it will be? Small, long answer, short answer, MCQ. What will be the length of the test in terms of item? How many questions you are giving? How many difficult questions you are giving? And so on and so on. And this should be with your principal, who should always have a quick access on your type of questions you are making. Now look at this. This is the structure of a test blueprint. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this. You can see over there, this content area. Main topic on which you are discussing, say you are discussing on, say, biology, structural difference. Subtopic may be brains. Then cognitive levels. This is Bloom's taxonomy, level 1, level 2, level 3, level, from which particular level you are asking the question. Whether it is on remembering, whether it is on understanding, whether it is on analyzing. Yes, it is a little long session, another 10 minutes, another 5 to 7 minutes we will take. Please bear with us, because the study has to be completed. What type of difficult questions they were? I can understand one person is showing that he's feeling very, okay, little bit is little. Okay. Difficulty levels, whether it is easy, difficult, or what type of item you are making, short answers, constructed response 1, 2, and how many you will make it. Okay. So this is how, this is the another format where you can give all the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Why we studied Bloom's taxonomy? Because of this reason we have studied Bloom's taxonomy. Because from which particular learning area we are making the question, that is very important. That is why we need Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. And so how to make using, and what are the different ways you can start? Suppose if you are making a question on understanding part, how would you classify, how would you compare, state in your own words, applying, how you use them, what examples, analyzing, if you are making a question on the analyzing part, what do you think, what is the theme, so on and so forth, evaluating, what is your opinion, how will you prove or disprove this, and creating, how do you improve it? Okay, when you go to creation, this is there. So then what you do, you review the test, arrange the items in proper way, and finally give it to the students. After the examination is over, is the appraising time for the test. Find out whether the items that match effectively for what you are, the difficulty level or the distributed level was perfect or not, and some power can be assessed through this process. This is also important. Simply conducting the test, giving the marks, that's not the end. Find out the test that you conducted was really useful for the students for their learning purpose or not. Question that you prepared, whether they were perfect or not, this is also important. That is why we make question. So I said in the beginning that it is one of the toughest challenge for us, one of the biggest challenge for us is preparing a good question paper for our students so that they can answer it properly and they will come out with flying colors from their examinations hall telling you what a wonderful paper it was, sir. What a great paper it was, madam. Okay, just one small chemistry paper and chemistry question paper of CBSE is over here. Okay, how they make it. It is a 23-24 question paper. So you can see the domains, remembering and understanding area, 28 marks was there. Application, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, 21. This is how CBSE also asks us to make a question papers, and this is how CBSE also prepares the question paper. Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy, without that, we simply cannot move forward. Okay, thank you very much, respected teachers. It's a big extra little extra 10 or 12 minutes we have taken, but I will always say that we must know everything in detail about the art of question paper making. Then we will never find it difficult to make question papers, and it will become a cakewalk for us, and the students will enjoy, because at the end of the day, happy learning, happy school, happy examination, everything should be happy, and happy. Thank you, respected teachers, to be with me for this almost 80 minutes. If we it's almost 80 minutes of session we have taken, and I hope definitely I'm able to give some information to you through this. Thank you very everything. If anybody has any question, they can ask.